Buongiorno. I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President and co-founder of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute. The Afterlife Research and Education Institute is very pleased to be part of this Afterlife Conference. In the past year and a half, I've written 3 books. The first of these is Your Eternal Self, Science Discovers the Afterlife. In this book, I use citations from scientists on this side of life and speakers from the next plane of life who explain the fact that the mind is not in the brain. It's not produced by the brain. It's not housed in the brain. And as a result of that, because we're independent of the brain and the body, when the brain and the body stop functioning, we just continue living. The second book is There is Nothing But Mind and Experiences. This book explains that the basis of reality is consciousness. It is the universal intellect. And as a result of that, nothing can die that is part of the universal intellect. And we are aspects of the universal intellect. We have access to all of the memories, all of the abilities the universal intellect has. We just have to learn how to use them. The third book is Reasons for What Happens in Your Life and Your Afterlife from speakers in the afterlife. The book uses citations from 570 speakers from the afterlife. These individuals have told us what life is like there, what life is like here, what our purpose in life is. And so this book explains all of that. We begin with deciding that we're going to incarnate into being born into this realm, growing spiritually, and then it goes into the transition out of this realm in 3 parts. The first is what happens before the transition, second is what happens during the transition, and the third is what happens after the transition. Then it explains what life is like in the realm after this life. I've also written a booklet. The booklet is The Evidence Human Consciousness Survives Bodily Death. This conference presentation is going to be focusing on that. So I'll be explaining the evidence that we have from recordings that we have from people from the afterlife, from people who are in this life who have spoken to people living in the afterlife that explain why we know that consciousness survives bodily death. So I look forward to seeing you there.